Big 14, you know what the fuck going on. Hey, hold up, take a moment, count my guap, count my guap. All these rags bumming in, they bumming in. Hold up, hey, count my guap, count my guap. Can I stop coming in, coming in? Put up in a drop top, she dropped it. I put up in a drop top, she dropped it. My diamonds dancing high skies, they hold this. My diamonds dancing high skies, they hold this. Yeah, hold up. I don't know what planet I'm on. I'm a king, little bitch, watch the throne. Feel like bottom, I'll top off your arm. Yeah, steady, cause you're heavy. Yeah, bitch, I'm ballin' hard just like a maverick. Money stretch long, little bitch like elastic. Now that bitch steady calling me Mr. Fantastic. Yeah. No, I keep a ratchet. If you play, boy, I turn your ass to acid. Automatic, doom, 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 bill, bitch, I'm blasting. Yeah, put you in a casket. Money sits long, it's elastic. I don't know what planet I'm on. I'm a king, little bitch, watch the throne. Feel like Bardo, I'll chop off your arm. Take a moment, count my guap, count my guap. All these rags bumming in, they bumming in. Hey, count my guap, count my guap. Can I stop coming in, coming in? Put up in a drop top, she dropped it. I put up in a drop top, she dropped it. My diamonds dancing high skies, they hold this. My diamonds dancing high skies. Yeah.
Astral worlds, my planet, my home. Clouds too high, the fumes too strong. Mix this cup for way too long. Add it up, don't subtract it. Yeah. Pour this egg with me and let's get blasted. Straight up, Lambo drop like a dragon. Can't fall asleep at night cause they attacking. In the coupe go insane. This a pick go David Blaine. We don't live the same.
But Rodgers is a fucking fossil. This team's in shambles. The Steelers are a wagon at home. It's going to be a gross fucking game. And I'm going right back to fading the Jets.
And once again, the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan, when the lights are bright, do not show up and they fold. Their receivers are banged up. The ones out there couldn't catch shit. Their defense is taking a step back. This 49ers team is a fucking joke. And I'm looking at you, Kyle Shanahan. You're supposed to be that guy.
In the postseason for the first time in his career, and they find a way to fucking blow it. Look, we should have known the Yankees bullpen was going to come back and bite them in the ass at some point. They've been a little bit too good. But my goodness, did we think it was going to be a big Christmas?
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Wednesday, episode 600 piece. My goodness, hold the fry. Joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Bookit Sports. If you're not tracking your bets on Bookit, what are you doing? Start tracking your bets today over there on Bookit. Change your life. Hold yourselves accountable. Okay, start tracking your bets over there on Bookit. Jovan, let's bring this full circle. Episode 600 piece. That's a lot of BTLs.
It's a lot of them. Shit ton of them.
That's a ton of BTLs. That's a ton of squad ride. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of heart. And without you guys in chat showing up right now, showing out, we wouldn't be doing this shit. So thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for being active in chat. Obviously, thank you guys for the subbies, those who donate. Very, very appreciative of you guys. To the next 600. Let's absolutely kill it. Let's keep moving and grooving. Let's finish the year strong. All right. Let's hit some more NFL and college football bets. That's the goal going forward, obviously. And let's keep showing up, showing out for the people, grinding our butts off to find you guys winners. Okay, that's the goal. All right, we got a hype train moving and grooving, Jovan. Love to see it. We got Christian coming in, dropping a sub bang, 600 episodes. Let's fucking go. Yes, sir. We got 69. Nice. Great name coming in with the resub as well. Happy Ep 600, boys. Let's cash. Yes, sir. We got the Gummy 1 coming in, resubbing. We got a hype train moving and grooving. We got Goots. Not our Goots. We got Canadian Goots coming in hot with a resub or blessing the community with a sub bang as well. Love to see that, Goots. W's. No Goots from us today. He is traveling back from Arizona, so Safe travels, Goots, to our guy, and thank you to Canadian Goots for the sub bang there. Dubs. All right, we're flying the ship ourselves today, boys. Me and Jovan, that's why we're on StreamYard. All right, but we're going to still find you guys some winners. The slate's not great. It ain't much, but it's honest work. We're going to dive in, find you guys the best plays possible. Okay? W Hype Train, gents. Way to get the day started. Sure. A couple day one riders in here. Mahoney, 100%. Some of you guys remember me posting up in the kitchen, getting this shit started up. It's been a while. All right, it's been a journey. Okay, wouldn't want to deal with anybody else. All right, let's keep killing it. Let's go ahead and hop in to the fantasy football matchup that me and Jovan have coming up this weekend. I guess on Thursday, starting up tomorrow. You guys probably saw this tweet, but we got a big-time fantasy football matchup from the BTL boys in the Bookit Fantasy League coming up here this weekend. The 3 seed, neighbors know my name, who I think is the best team in the playoffs remaining, going against CMC, 2 touchdowns, probably the best name in the fantasy league. Jovan, how you feeling about your chances heading into this weekend?
I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie, Krabs. My team has been kind of patchwork for almost the entirety of the season. Definitely is now, and I'm very worried I'm not going to get a Garendo appearance on Thursday or tomorrow, actually.
Yeah,
which is scaring the piss out of me because without that, I'm fucked.
Short week, that might hurt you there. With Gillianta. That's brutal.
That's gonna hurt a lot. If not, I'm gonna have to start Braylon Allen or Tank Bigsby, which Braylon Allen I guess would be.
Braylon Allen might be fine.
Yeah, the thing is I won't know that until Sunday. I know they said like Brees isn't expected to play or whatever came out earlier this morning, but yeah, I'm getting the Garendo out of the way on Thursday if he ends up not playing.
All right, yeah, that puts you in a tough spot with the short week there. See how that plays out. I'm curious if he plays as well. I've got him in my sleeper league, so I guess it's a win-win for me. If you play him, you probably end up beating me, but maybe I have a chance in my other league. So we got Aries coming in, dropping 500 biddies. Let's fucking go, Aries. Attaboy, we appreciate you. Yes, let's keep Trent's pops in our prayers. Okay, that's all we can do. Keep in our prayers. Keep them in our thoughts. All right? Get Busy Dizzy coming in, resubbing as well. 32 months of banging with Bookit. That's a lot of sub bangs, my man. We appreciate you. Thank you for resubbing. Dubs. Big day today. All right, let's get back in the saddle. We got Mikey and Shelly facing off as well. The one in the 4 seed. Shelly's team is fucking stacked. I'll give him that in the Bookit League as well. So 2 great matchups. We could dive a little bit more into these matchups tomorrow when we got Goots back. You could take a peep at both matchups. We'll give you guys the rundown of lineups and stuff. Okay? For now, wanted to set the table. All right, 2 big-time matchups starting up tomorrow. See how it goes. Morty Bunch did open up as a favorite, Godsend. We'll see how it plays out. How it plays out. That team is playing its best ball heading into the playoffs. I'll tell you that much. All right.
Squeaked in there.
All right, gents. Let's go over the Sharp Report. Let's dive in. Let's go over some winners for today. We got Degen Weekly coming in, giving out a subby. Let's go, Degen. Attaboy. What's up, Beast? Hype Train level 2. Love to see it. Hope you're doing well. All right, Jovan, you want to hop into the Sharp Report for today?
Yeah,
sure.
We don't have, I guess I realized as we were starting up that we didn't get recap graphics, but
okay,
we'll do it audibly. Squad Ride L, and we split every single thing on the Sharp Report.
Yep.
We went 1-1 on book plays and 1-1 on PP squares. Literally
not gonna cut it.
The middest of mid.
Not gonna cut it. That's from Monday, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Let's bounce back today. Let's get a winner. Let's get a Squad Ride W. The most important thing. I don't care if we got to spend 15 minutes on it towards the end of the day today. With the slate we have, if we got to spend some more time on it, we will. All right, but let's start with the Sharp Report, guys. We'll go into some of our favorite plays for today. You guys can let us know your opinions, your thoughts on these angles here. And thank you to Gen Boys for coming in with the raid as well. Dubs, appreciate that. And yeah, Del Gott, I'm going with your Green Bay boys here. I'm taking Green Bay. You guys know Doug Gottlieb, the new coach, right? It hasn't worked out too well yet for the squads. They're not playing 2 solids. After decent starts, a couple wins early on, they're 2-8. They've lost a bunch of games in a row, and they are playing a Milwaukee team coming into town at Green Bay in this matchup. Milwaukee's coming in off a big win against Cleveland State. They've looked like a much better squad. They're always a pretty solid squad in the mid-majors every year. I was a little bit confused as to why the spread was coming down so much. The 7.5 made a lot of sense to me where it opened up. I don't think that was a crazy line there, but down to 5.5 with how Green Bay's looked of late. I got a weird feeling Doug Gottlieb's getting his first win here at home at Green Bay, but I'll take the points here. +5.5, +5, whatever you can get. We might need them. in this game. Should be relatively high scoring. Totals on the way up as well. I think that's a good sign for Green Bay as well in that offense. I think they have their best offensive performance of the season against Milwaukee, coming in off a big win.
Yeah, I could be down with that. The Fighting Doug Gottliebs.
Sure.
Getting maybe a big win, big interstate rivalry win.
Rivalry game. Yes.
Could be the difference.
See how it plays out. This is where I might lose you, but stick with me here. I am back in both favorites in the NBA tonight. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to go ahead and get out ahead of this one. Jovan let me know that both favorites won the other night as well in this tournament. So I don't love that, but I'm trusting my guns here. I'm sticking with my angles, and I do like both favorites, especially the Rockets. But let's start with this money line bozo pack. All right, you got the Knicks. I believe that's the first NBA game of the day today. Only 2 on tonight. Yep, 7 p.m. on ESPN, sure. And what's the angle everybody's talking about in this game? As they probably should, but it's Trae Young, right? Trae Young coming into the Garden. The Hawks have beaten the Knicks 2 of the last 3 times they played them as well. So Trae Young typically has been showing up, showing out against the Knicks. And we know he likes to talk a ton of shit against his team and in this arena as well. I don't know what it is, but it just gets him fired up. And I'm not saying Trae Young's not going to go out there and go more than his points on Prize Picks. He probably will today. And I do like the over in points in this game with that total moving up 3 points. But I thought that was some serious respect for the Knicks. And I know both teams are playing pretty solid right now. The Knicks are obviously regarded as a better squad overall. But the way both teams are playing, you can't really make an argument for either team being much better. I thought that was some serious respect for the Knicks at home here in this spot, a team that struggled of late against the Hawks and Trae Young, losing 2 of their last 3. I'll back the Knicks to not cover, but get a win on the ML. They win by probably 5 or 6 in this one, barely don't cover. But I do think they get it done here at home. And everybody on the Trae Young angle back in the Hawks, I don't think that's the spot. I think that's fake sharp. So I'll back the Knicks on the ML, and I'm pairing them with Louisiana in college basketball. Look, this team has really struggled a lot this season, but we know they got much more talent, and they're a much better team than they've showed this season, where they're 1-8 and they've lost a bunch of games in a row. This team won their conference not too long ago. The Raging Cajuns are a better squad, and I think they get right against Sela in this spot here. Jovan at home, 8 p.m. on ESPN+. Sela has covered 4 of their last 5 games. They're playing pretty good. The Raging Cajuns, not only are they 1-8 on the ML, Jovan, they're 1-8 against the spreads. So the odds makers, for some reason, still giving them respect here in this spot after just getting crushed. Every time they've been a favorite or every time they've been a short dog this season, they have not come through, and they're still giving them respect, and they're actually catching 2 more points of steam on the spread, moving up from -2.5 to -4.5. So I'll back Louisiana in this spot, the Raging Cajuns on the ML against Sela, with that spread moving up in a sharp spot. Odds makers still seem to believe in them. I do as well.
Yes, sketchy game. I saw it, took a peep at it, thought about it, couldn't do it. Sela just might be that team, but I will hope and root for your moneyline parlay, of course.
Okay. Well, we can also hope and root and gas up Aries for coming in and giving out 5 sub banks. Let's fucking go, Aries.
Go.
Atta boy. Hype train level 3 moving and grooving. Love to see it. W's. 10 subbies coming in from Aries. Those don't grow on trees, folks. Can we get some W's in the chat for our guy Aries18 showing up and showing out every single day in chat? And bless him with the subbies. Are good. Okay, W Aries. Let's keep moving and grooving here. Rockets ML. My favorite play of the night. Favorite play of the night. Should have put it first. Here's the deal. Rockets have not beaten the Golden State Warriors the last 15 times they've played them, Jovan. 15. Shout out Shark Lark for that trend. Crazy. You're telling me the Houston Rockets, and look, I know this team is a little bit better than people expect. I know they're 16-8. Their record is actually better than the Warriors this season. That doesn't mean shit. This is still Steph Curry and the Warriors against the mid-Rockets. Well, I'm kind of starting to think times are changing here. Warriors looking a little old, a little banged up. Rockets, this young core is looking pretty solid, and I like that coach as well. I'll back the Rockets here as a favorite. Seeing them as a favorite against Golden State in any scenario, I don't care if they're home, I don't care if they're playing just as good as Golden State, is crazy to me to see. The Houston Rockets, favorites against the Golden State Warriors. Not only is that just crazy to say out loud, but the fact that there's a 15-game win streak for the Warriors and they're dogs in this spot, in a game that means a ton, in a playoff-type game, right, for this in-season tournament, and they're dogs. Come on. That's absurd. It's got to be the Rockets tonight, and I'll back them on the ML.
Yeah, and it would probably make you like it more too. I believe 2 times this year, they've already played twice this year. Both times were without Steph Curry. So, like, obviously they won both of those games because those happen to be the latest 2 of the 15. And now you get them back on the road with plus chick.
Surely the Warriors pay out at plus chicken with step back in this matchup. Winners of 15 in a row against the Rockets, right? Surely. Yeah, we'll be coming back to this play, chat. I will be vouching for this heavily. I can understand if I can't convince you on the Knicks. That might be a tough sell. But the Rockets...
You can convince me on the Knicks.
Okay.
Convince me on the Knicks, for sure.
Okay. All right. We'll circle back. I want to see what Jovan's got for his straight bets today. Let's go to him. Starts out with an over in CVB involving the Irish. Beautiful. Yeah. Great start. Let's hear it.
Of course. So Notre Dame, like, they've been in I would say, gauntlet of a schedule for a handful of weeks now, a handful of games. Obviously, it all started in that tournament. I forget where it was. Maybe it was Brooklyn, where they went Rutgers, Houston, Creighton, and then obviously in that first game, that's where they lost Marcus Burton. So they've really been operating at a deficit since then. They had a lot of tough games there. Then they went on the road against Georgia. Then they played a tough, their first ACC game at home against Syracuse in their last game. So this is their first game that they really get to figure it out, I guess, offensively without Marcus Burton. And truthfully, I mean, they've been playing a lot slower. There's been a lot more low-scoring games. Like, they only put up 48 points against Georgia, only 69 points, and only gave up 64 against Syracuse. So that's a game that screamed offense, and there was not much of it. Think this game is going to be pretty different, and one of the reasons why, how many threes Syracuse hit in that game against Notre Dame, which was very, very odd to me when I looked at that. And shout out Eddie Lampkin, because I can guarantee you this is a lot having to do with how they defended him and took the ball out of his hands. Not one. They went 0 for 9 from 3 in that game, which
they also suck.
Yeah, they're really bad, but 0 for 9 from 3 in an entirety of 40 minutes is crazy, especially against like Notre Dame. Like, Notre Dame's a good defense, I guess, when they want to be, but like, they're undersized. Like, if you want to shoot over top of them, especially if you have like Chris Bell, who's a 6'8" shooter, do it. And they didn't do it for 40 minutes, which was odd to me. But now they get Dartmouth, who they like to shoot a lot of threes. They like to play super fast. So, like, if I'm Notre Dame, I always say this about like a lot of the Big 12 teams, partially because I know that they employ like the strategy like intentionally. And I've heard multiple coaches say that, but like, Notre Dame's gone through a gauntlet of a schedule. Now they're without Marcus Burton. They went through 5 games since then, a lot against these much, much better teams. They have 2 games left before the actual grind of ACC play starts. I know they just had their one-off Syracuse game, but they have this game, and then they host your boys this weekend in Lemoyne. If I'm them and I'm playing a team that's going to play super fast, play in transition, and chuck up a lot of threes, which is how you wanted to play with Marcus Burton in the lineup anyway, I'm going to take as many possessions as possible and play their game, because that's better for us to prepare for conference play. And not to say they're just going to go out there and smoke Dartmouth, because I think Dartmouth can stay in this game with their shooting, but they're a team that kind of mirrors the style of Notre Dame with size, and their overall play style is very Shrewsbury-like. So I think you're getting points, unlike the handful of games we've seen with Notre Dame, or that Notre Dame's had without Marcus Burton since then. So this feels like their game to open it up. I'll probably take not only this over, but probably the Lemoyne over this weekend as well. Give them some games to get right.
Dartmouth hitting 4 unders in their last 5. Notre Dame coming off of back-to-back unders as well. So I love that.
Yeah. I love the Dartmouth. I mean, I love that they have somewhat of confidence too. Like, because the last time they went on the road this season against a power conference team, they put up 88 points against Boston College. Like, Notre Dame is better than Boston College, but they're not going in scared. Exactly. They know the game plan. It's to go in there and chuck threes against Notre Dame. So I think they make them. The next play, Cal Baptist plus 15 against San Diego State, who's been playing some damn good ball, I will say. I don't know when it was exactly they snuck into the rankings. I think it was maybe the beginning of last week, but
was it not this Monday?
Was it?
It might have been this Monday, to be honest.
Might have been before.
I'm sure somebody in chat will correct me there. Keep going.
Well, they're ranked for their games last week. So at the very latest, I guess it was last Monday. But I mean, they've been really impressive through non-con. They got the big win against Creighton. They played Gonzaga pretty tough. They lost to Oregon, but then they went and beat Houston right after that. So they've been pretty good. And now they're kind of hitting the softer part of their non-con. Like, they just played Fresno State, who I don't know why they're playing so fast this year. I don't know what the reasoning is, but like San Diego State shut that down awfully quickly. They played a little slower of a San Diego team, didn't exactly pull away from them as fast as you would think. Now they play Cal Baptist, who also plays relatively slow compared to a lot of teams they face. Now, if you notice, like whether you count the good teams or the bad teams, they have struggled a lot more against the teams that want to kind of match their tempo and get to the rim, and that's exactly what Cal Baptist does. So they're an odd team because they play a very odd style of basketball. They just like run a lot of pick and roll and try to get to the rim. The guards just slash like they don't know how to shoot sometimes, which honestly putting the pressure on the San Diego State defense I think might be good. So like I'm taking a shot here and saying they're going to keep this game close, especially being that this is like I don't know, it kind of feels like a sleepy game right before finals week. They don't play until next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, but that's when they go over to San Jose for like their tournament to finish up conference play before starting, their first Mountain West game against Utah State. So Cal Baptist, kind of sneaky good team. I want to take a shot at them on the road. So give me Cal Baptist. I don't know. Any thoughts on that play? So no, those are I don't want to say you're sneaky guys over there, but I feel like you put some coin on them.
I like the Lancers
last year.
I like the Lancers. I like them better when they had, why am I forgetting their names? Torian. They had two brothers from Australia. I cannot believe I'm forgetting their names.
I know.
Absolutely
I was trying
absurd.
to think of them too.
Armstrong. Torian Armstrong.
Yes.
And his brother, right? Two studs. So yeah, I've been following this team and I really like betting on them. And they also have a really solid coach. And the last 2 years, like including this season and last year, they have Dominic Daniels, who is really good. They say he's 5'10". He's more like 5'7". Dominic Daniels is really good. He is a Power 5 scorer, in my opinion, no matter what his size is. He'd be scoring 15+ in a Power 5 conference or Power 4 conference, whatever. He's averaging 22 points right now for Cal Baptist. So, it's not like you're taking the nastiest bet of all time and you got no bodies. You do. You got some bodies on this team. You got a good coach, and they're playing pretty well. Also, they've won 4 of their last 5. And I also like how they're coming in not off a cover against San Diego. They won, but it was a little close. So they're not going to come in super fat, happy, complacent. And obviously you can't with that mindset, head to the pit, playing against Coach Dutcher's boys in San Diego State. Good fucking luck. That bet is not for the faint of heart. I'm probably one of the only people on earth you could convince to take that, but maybe we could do some more selling. I mean, get that on the squad rides because I do think that's a winner. And I like seeing the spread coming down from 15.5, 16 to, 14.5, 15 as well.
Sure.
Good sign for Cal Baptist, good sign for the Lancers. And sure, twist my arm. You want to fade a ranked team playing unbelievably right now at home, even if that means fading them at, at home in San Diego. I'll do it. Sign me up.
Yeah, sure.
It's not going to be easy.
Yeah. Never really wanted to be Krabs, but
No.
Here we are. And never really wanted to be going back to a Ducks over, but here we are again with not only the short slate, but I'm looking at this game, like immediate thought, holy fuck. I know we say this about a lot of the games that the Senators are involved in at home, and I'll always preach that, but minus 250 seems quite a bit aggressive, even with some of the fatter lines they've gotten against bigger teams. So it makes me think not only like maybe in some vein, like the Senators come out and dominate this game. I think that would have to come with, goals. And on the other side, like those are exactly the type of games that Ducks win when they are counted out against an inferior team that you think should not be getting nearly this much respect. So I do think it's going to be a little back and forth in this game. That last game with the Canadians was odd because they had like flurries of shots and then they just kind of stopped with offense. Both power plays were not really generating much of anything, which was, I don't know, a shock to me, obviously. I like the over in that game. We took that. This game, I feel like, has to be different for a couple different reasons because the Senators, whenever they play teams, they get ripped up by defensemen, which the Ducks very clearly do. They allow a lot of shots, but a lot of shots to everybody, but specifically to defensemen, they get very, very aggressive early and often. They rip pucks on net. So whoever's going to be in net, I would think it would be Gibby for the Ducks tonight, but maybe it's Dostal. They're going to get a lot of chances. Same the Canadians, who, I don't know, in that game they tried to be pretty cute on the wing and frankly passed up a lot of shots that they could have taken, which is why there was, as low shot total in that game as there was. The Sens ain't going to do that, especially at home as these massive favorites. So at the very least, I think they're going to take their chances. And God forbid, they get on the power play. I think they're going to be lethal in that. We'll talk about that in the square or for a square in a second. But on the other side, I don't want to count the Ducks out either because I feel like, again, this is exactly the game they type type of game they win, or at least show some heart in, show some fight, show some offense on the road as much bigger dogs than they should be against the Senators team that is also going to let you do the same exact thing. So give me the over. I'll go right back to it. I'm glad it's starting to tick up a little bit price-wise, just looking at the juice, which is a good thing, I guess, off of that last Ducks game, but right back to it.
Okay. All right. Couple things in chat that I want to address. And by the way, great solid job. Although I'm not sprinting to the books to lock another over on the ice. I mean, it's going to be hard for me not to tell that one after talking through that. So excited to hear that Prize Pick Square as well. Can definitely get involved with the Lancers and that over in Notre Dame Dartmouth. Speaking of Dartmouth, I got Chaco in chat talking about Ryan Cornish. Did a couple clicks, couple Googles, and I obviously know who that is. He's their best scorer, but I didn't know that he was from Potomac, Maryland. Chaco, you go to high school with this kid? You go to fucking Mount St. Joe or something? Where do you go? Where do you go somewhere in the DMV? I'm very curious now. This kid, by the way, he's a ginger. He's extremely red-haired and pale from Potomac, Maryland. I don't know if you've seen this kid play. Very, very Irish. His name's Ryan Cornish. Give me a break. Looks like he's from Ireland, not Potomac, Maryland. Excited to watch him tonight. I know he's been balling so far this season, carrying this team. We're going to need him to produce tonight because if he doesn't, it's tough for that over to hit, to be completely frank. They got a couple other guys, but obviously Ryan Cornish has been their glue in his senior season. He's been fun to watch. I'm excited to watch him again tonight. But yeah, they got Haskins. They got Mitchell Day as well. They got a bunch of veterans on that team. They're going to be hungry to come into a Notre Dame team. Or I think, are they home? Notre Dame's home.
Yeah, Notre Dame's home.
They're going to be hungry to go on the road. Like you said, they already have a little bit of experience playing on the road against a Power 5 team. I think they can go in there and put up some points. And let's just hope the Irish can follow suit.
Sure.
Like these plays. Okay. Couple other things from chats. There was one other thing I wanted to mention. Oh, I saw Adams got picks saying the Warriors aren't losing tonight. That might ruin my day. Seeing that chat. Not going to lie to you. I would love to hear the reasoning, Adam. Do you think that maybe the Rockets are fake sharp tonight? I'd love to hear your reasoning because that scares the heck out of me. Okay. Let's keep moving and grooving. He went to Sidwell in Virginia. Okay. Very cool, Chaco. Very cool. Jalen Brunson, more than 17.5 field goals attempted. I'm tired of backing guys in the NBA and needing their results. Why don't we just go ahead and cut the shit and just take Jalen Brunson to go out there and jack some shots in a game with that total moving up, in a game that should be relatively close, in a game where everyone's taking Trae Young this, Trae Young that. Why not the GOAT for the Knicks stepping up tonight after a couple games? Not his best. He's got some pretty high Prize Pick squares up there today. Obviously, the total in that game's high. The Knicks are laying 8. Everything is pointing in the right direction, in my opinion, for Jalen Brunson to go off and not Trae Young. I'll take his 17.5 field goals attempted. Very red chart as well. I think he tries to carry, and whether it ends up working out or not, hopefully it does, but we don't need to bank on it here. Just take your shots, my man. And when everybody's talking about Trae Young, maybe Brunson tries to make it the Jalen shot. I wouldn't be shocked. Shocked. And then Fred VanVleet, more than 28 PRA. This one caught my eye earlier this morning. If I'm thinking the Rockets win, who's stepping up? Who's going to carry this team tonight against Golden State? I think it's a veteran, a crafty veteran who's always, doubted, always, disrespected. This guy shows up and shows out more often than not. This might surprise you. It's sarcasm too, but I'm a huge Fred VanVleet guy, blue collar, hardworking dude. His career has turned out much better than I expected off the rip. This dude puts the ball in the fucking hoop. And tonight he's going to be the facilitator as well. If you look at all of his squares, rebounds, assists, they're all fucking red as points. I think Fred VanVleet shows up when the lights are bright. They rely on their veteran on a very young core of a team. Generally, it's going to be VanVleet showing up when the lights are bright against Golden State tonight, and there's a reason why his squares are so high.
I can get down with that. Little Fred action.
Sure.
Somebody's going to have to do it.
Somebody has to do it. Maybe it's Fred. We got P810 Mills coming in, dropping a follow. We got a Hype Train level 5 moving and grooving. Love to see that. Looks like Arias was in here again, dropping another subby. We appreciate you, Beast. You're him. Okay, Arias, you're him. W's. Jovan, Prize Pick squares. Let's talk about him.
Circling back to that Sens game.
Sure.
Jake Sanderson, take a look at that chart because that is fully read it out. And it caught my attention as soon as I saw the chart. But you look back and you remember he's a defenseman going against the Ducks. So whether he is aggressive in his own, ripping pucks on net, or just aggressive and kind of jumpstarting the offense, it makes a lot of hockey sense to have him involved in this game. The one thing that is very odd about Jake Sanderson is because he is a power play merchant. It took him, I think he has 1 or 2 even strength points on the season out of his 14, which is crazy. And he's not a huge aggressive guy on himself. Like out of his 14 points, 13 of them are assists. So like he's going to be, I think, pretty key. I think this is a rare game where he'll probably be a little aggressive, and he's been shooting the puck a little more on net lately himself. So it's not like he doesn't take his own chances. But in this game specifically, where I pointed out like last game, the issue with that Ducks-Habs game, especially on the Habs side, the Habs had a lot of open shots, especially from the top of the key there, and did not take them. They're trying to be very cute on the wing. If I'm the Senators, not only Sanderson, but whatever D-man they have back out there, I'm ripping myself. And I think once they do that and kind of open it up, he will do something on the power play. So maybe taking Sanderson is like the same as taking a power play point, which I know people take those on the books all the time. It's a lot juicier, feel free. But he's going to get a point in this game. There's a reason why it squares up. Matchup makes a lot of sense too. So I'm taking him. And then Dyson Daniels, this one is actually a demon. He has a 0.5 goblin up there, but Dyson Daniels, he's going to be key in this game, and a lot of people think it's because of defense. I think it could be on both sides of the ball. In that game that they played, I think it was just around Thanksgiving when they played the Knicks the first time, he got plenty of shot attempts, and this was kind of when he was starting his rise up, I guess. He went 3 for 16. A lot of that was at the rim, only 0 for 4 from 3. By the time he started moving back to the three-point line, it was a little later in the game. I think if I'm the Hawks here, the adjustment that I'm going to make is put him more in the spot-up role, which could be why, he's been pretty steady relatively outside of the last games, kind of like floor and ceiling volume is to only make a single 3. I think that opens up a little more today, especially when, the emphasis is going to be on stopping Trae Young, making him less of a playmaker. I think you're going to put the ball kind of in the hands of, or try to put the ball more in Jalen Johnson's hands, who had a lot of success himself in that game. And I think Dyson Daniels is going to be spotting up a little earlier than he got to in that first game. So he had, again, horrendous shooting day. And a lot of that came because he was forcing stuff at the rim. I think you back up to the 3-point line a little bit. If you're Dyson Daniels this one, he banks 2 threes.
Okay. Well, although I do like the Hawks to lose this game, I do think it'll be high scoring. I think it'll be relatively close. And I'm always down to back Dyson Daniels. I don't know if I've seen a guy in recent years play harder ball in the NBA during the regular season on both sides of the ball, especially defense, than Dyson Daniels. He's been fun to watch. I kind of hope that rubs off on the rest of the league. I know it won't, but Dyson Daniels plays the game the right way. Love betting on that kid. And even if that means taking his prize pick square tonight when I have the Knicks ML, I will happily do so, especially with that sell job. Sign me up. And then, Jake Sanderson, no explanation needed from me. Great fucking sell. And the chart says it all. Red as mom. I'm in.
Yeah, so red.
I'm in. Love it. All right. And if you want to get cute, you could take Sanderson to get a power play goal in the books. And more plus check.
Power play point. They offer those some places. But, I mean, I'm cool to open it up to at any time because I don't want to be left out. But that's where he gets a chunk of his stuff. So I would not be shocked.
Adam's got picks, says, I'm a homer, so take it with a grain of salt, Krabs. Okay, that's a good point, Adam. Maybe that's a good thing, right? And we know we always say about fans of teams, respectfully. You're also talking about Draymond free throw. That could be a good look. Dylan Brooks fouling. Yeah, he's probably going to foul him. All right. Maybe we'll put that in something for the NBA tonight. We might have to craft up an NBA lineup looking at the rest of this slate and make up for no TNT Tuesday yesterday. We'll see if we have some time at the end. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any Champions League angles or plays for Billy the Kid? He's asking.
I really don't, to be honest with you. It's
That's
actually some pretty solid matchups today. Obviously, the headliner, I guess, is Man City and Juve. That game is probably like 1-0 Man City. That might be a snoozer, but I don't really have anything that I'm betting in those games.
Okay. All right. Do we want to take a peep at the rest of the slate and see if there's anything we left behind, any other winners, angles we could find?
Surely.
I'm going to take a peep over here. I mean, we've already kind of talked about these NBA games probably plenty. But were you liking any sides or totals in these two games, Jovan, before I brought them up?
I mean, I don't mind taking a stab at the Knicks, especially being, not similar situations like the Warriors, I guess, have beat the Rockets twice already without Curry being a part of the fold, but the Hawks did also beat the Knicks with the same exact spread outright in Atlanta not too long ago.
Dude,
as much as I would love to back the Trae Young going into the guard narrative, which again, he'll probably play some sort of role and be a dick and be funny.
Yeah,
and
he's still going to get more than his points.
He'll still be the villain somehow, some way. I don't think this is the game for them to win. No.
Okay.
Or keep it competitive at the end.
Do I hate that both favorites last night won? Sure, but are we going to let that cloud our judgment today and affect our plays and angles? No, these are two sharp plays. We got the Knicks against the popular Trae Young angle, laying the same number they lost outright to the last time they played, and the Hawks have beat them 2 of the last 3 times they played. Who the hell wants to back the Knicks today? Probably nobody. Everyone's going to be backing that Trae Young angle. And then the Rockets as well against the Warriors. They've lost 15 straight games against them, and they're favorites. So respectfully, I do think those two sharp angles tonight probably cancel out both favorites winning last night, right? At least that's what I'm going to tell myself to get to the counter and lock these plays in. Something else I wanted to ask. Go ahead.
I was going to say, what my head first went to and looking at these games was probably the totals, because if we're talking about something that's kind of making me think different about these games somehow, some way, it's the way that yesterday's games went totals wise, because we had the Bucks against the Magic with nobody playing. I mean, Mo Wagner had the greatest game of his life, and it was the Jalen Suggs show pretty much. That's the game with a 215 total that went over. And then everybody's favorite game to stack squares and props was Dallas OKC, and that's sort under by like 15 points. So there's a very obvious discrepancy when I've seen a lot of that Rockets Warriors under, and the Hawks Knicks is obviously any game with the Hawks involved is going to be a pretty public over, but it's definitely much higher for that reason. So I would not be shocked if we see that again with the super high obvious total going under and the opposite happening with Warriors Rockets.
Wow. All right. I'll be staying off the totals then, my man. Jeesh. Okay. Wasn't going to bet him anyways. You don't need 2 bets in one game. When I write my book in the future, guys, the 10 Commandments of Sports Betting, and if I see that book out there in public before I write it, I will find you and hunt you down. Don't do it. Don't steal my idea. But that'll be one of the rules. You don't need 2 plays in one game. One is enough. What are you, the coach of the team? You think you know everything about that game? 1 play per game. That's how you win. Okay, that's going to be one of the commandments. We'll stick with the sides here. We don't need to get involved in the totals. Come on. Something else I was going to ask you, Jovan. I know I parlayed Louisiana and CBB with the Knicks. I was going to say, if you're sketched out about the favorites still, Woods pairing Louisiana with a favorite on the ice in Ottawa tonight be a decent look as well. Around more like plus 150. I just wanted to get those thoughts out there and see what you're thinking. I know you mentioned Ottawa laying a fat number earlier, so I wanted to bring it back up.
Yeah, if I felt any sort of confidence in Ottawa, like I still lean them in the game, but I think there's so many ways that game can go, which is why I took the over. And I felt pretty confident. If I felt pretty confident in them as a side, I would have probably taken a -1.5.
Right. And like you said, when people least expect it, the Ducks show up.
Yeah, I've seen the story so many times. The Ducks, you got a team that shouldn't be that big of a favorite at home against the Ducks. They're probably scoring first. That's just how it always starts.
Can we wish our guy Matt in chat a happy birthday today? Today is his birthday. Let's fucking go, Matt. Sure we can. Hey, Matt. Happy birthday, my man. Happy birthday, bro. Seaborn saying, great stream, guys. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Did I miss CBB? Does Utah Valley -9 look a little bit weird? We're going to power through that slate here in a minute. We have not gone through the entire slate. Money Talk Sports saying I need you to look at Jalen Green, 19.5 points less than, and then go look at his numbers versus Golden State, nasty less than, that'll cash us. That's not good for the Rockets tonight, but that's interesting.
Take
have to check out props.cash for that one.
Maybe it's just the Fred game like you want.
It might just be Fred's. It can't be everybody, right? You don't want it to be everybody. But Jalen Green coming off a 31 Berg. Cashing this number, 3 of his last 5 in those games. He tweaked. You could probably convince me on a less than points for Jalen Green tonight, even with the Rocket slip. Yep. I like that play, Money Talks. It's probably smacking. We'll see if I want to get nasty and take it that far, though. Okay. Real Nicky Gambles likes Green Bay tonight. W's and W Jovan for putting the ticker with our plays up there as well on the bottom on the screen, guys. So if you're wondering what our Sharp Report plays are, Jovan hooked this up and he put them on the ticker there on the bottom. Okay, so if you need some winners, you got them. All right, we're going to talk about the rest of these games as well. Why don't we go look at some CBB?
Sure.
Let's go look at some CBB. I want to take a peep at the rest of the slate. We owe it to the people. Looks like Baylor finally taking care of business now after they were damn near losing that game at halftime. Crazy. Let me know if there's anything else you're seeing, Jovan, that's kind of weird, like UTEP getting some respect on the spread against our beloved Louisville team that never covers or wins. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with the Louisville bit. Louisville is extremely banged up. They got 8 scholarship players, and their coach, Pat Kelsey, bless his heart, he's got plenty of time and plenty of excuses. So there's really no rush for this Louisville team right now to force guys back from injury early or really press, because this is really year one of a large rebuild that has already gone better than people expected just with the talent that Pat Kelsey was able to bring in. But now I'm looking at the spread, and I'm looking at UTEP playing really good ball right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if they keep this one within 15 or 10. To be completely frank with you, sure, Louisville probably wins this game, outright. It's Louisville against UTEP, but that spread's at 15.5. UTEP's playing good ball right now. I wouldn't be shocked if they keep that within the number, and I certainly would not be recommending getting involved in Louisville right now after what we've seen from them their last 3 games. They don't have bodies right now. They don't have the guys. And I haven't really seen the books adjust until today, giving UTEP a little bit of respect.
Maybe this is when you zag and start hopping back, Krabs.
Yeah, I can't do it. I just think they might be too banged up. And like I said, I don't know if Kelsey's really in a rush right now.
Yeah, but like this is like bad as they've had to be the last handful of games. Like they've been bad against Duke, Ole Miss, like a lot of these damn good teams. Like they haven't played a non-power conference opponent since before Thanksgiving, since November 22nd against Winthrop. Like they've been playing like 3 of the last 5 games have been against ranked teams, not just power conference teams. Like it's not like they've been they haven't been good. They've been shorthanded, like sure, but it's not like they've been terrible in comparison to like what I don't know, maybe expected them to do coming into the season.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, they were up against Duke at halftime, I believe, in that game, or at least it was
they honestly
close.
played. I know they didn't cover at the end, but like they played decently well throughout the majority.
They couldn't make a bucket in the second half.
They got kind of gas late, which again, like with the hand they've been dealt, how shorthanded they are, I kind of get it.
It's a weird spot for Louisville. It's a weird spot for Coach Kelsey, who likes to play 10-plus guys. That's kind of his coaching style. You go out there, you play less minutes, you play your ass off, and then you get off the court, you rest, and you go back in there. It's like fucking hockey. He likes to play his whole team. He's kind of, he's got some cards right now in his hand that he typically doesn't get or know how to play. And I don't know if I want to jump back on the Louisville train right now with a short-staffed Louisville team against a UTEP team playing really good. Sure, it might be the sharp play. I just don't know if I could do it myself.
I just might, dude. UTEP's also super small, which I know it's not like they have their full cast of guys to where they could use that fully to their advantage like Louisville could, but it's better than the opposite.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Maine and Duquesne. That rhymed. Maine's been playing good ball this year, I believe. Duquesne, not so much. Maine 6-5. Spreads down from +5.5 to +4.5. Duquesne sitting at 2-7. Good to see Duquesne get back up and moving and cash for us in their last game against Delaware when they were a sharp favorite. Odds makers still giving them respect, but this is not Ma and Pa's Duquesne. They got a new coach. They got a depleted roster, and they still have line respect for some reason. So I'd recommend probably staying off this. Although Duquesne looks like a sharp money line parlay piece, and although I'm not going to say they're not winning this game on the ML, they probably are. I would not be going anywhere near that -4.5. And with that spread coming back towards Maine, I think they might keep it within a couple buckets. The Black Bears.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I got nothing for you, so we'll trust your read on that one.
Yeah, I just think Duquesne still has some of that leftover line respect. We know they're typically wagons at home as well, even when they're not good. So they win games at home, but new coach, new program, it's still getting that old line respect. I'm out. I got nothing in these games, really. Thought that was some respect for Wright State against Marshall. Not going to play it, though.
A little bit. I can get down with that.
Obviously, I'm on Green Bay. You got any thoughts on Bryant St. John's?
I mean, square as it might be, I don't know how the hell that game does not go over. it's probably the most obvious power conference versus mid-major opponent over ever. But I mean, they're coming off a game. I mean, St. John's is where they put up 88 against Kansas State. I know Kansas State is moose, but they tried to slow them down, couldn't do it. Again, if I'm St. John's, why would I not run against Bryant? Like, I don't think Bryant has the dogs to stop him at the rim either.
No, they don't have any there.
They don't have
just lost to Brown outright.
Yeah, I mean, they're really bad. High ass total, but I just might get involved.
Okay. Over in Bryant St. John's. Keep that one back pocket, chat. I'm on Green Bay on the spread. Jovan likes that Dartmouth Notre Dame over. 141.
Ooh, too.
Good to see it's making some moves. Yeah.
Making some moves after Notre Dame's been playing in rock fights.
Yeah. It's good. Love to see it. Colgate, Kentucky. I don't have shit for this one, but, two notable programs, at least. Colgate, a perennial wagon in their conference, probably off to their worst start in my lifetime since I've been following college basketball. And they've lost 4 in a row. Typically, Colgate, they're not typically playing teams like Kentucky before they get into conference play, to be completely honest with you. Maybe that's one of the changes they have this season. But, they just lost a game to Northeastern. They lost to Cornell. They lost to Sam Houston. They lost to App State. In the game they were +1, they lost by 22. So maybe this just isn't Mon Pa's Colgate. Maybe in a time of NIL, it's a little bit tougher to get some ballers, get some kids out there to Colgate. They've had a pretty good program out there, similar to Vermont in recent years, where they just typically win their conference and go to the fucking tournament. But this seems like a little bit of a different Colgate team. I'm out. And there's probably a reason why Kentucky's laying this ginormous number here. Although they're coming off a win, they're 8-1, they're ranked top 5 in the country. I would not recommend going anywhere near Colgate or fading Kentucky probably in this game, but you won't see me with a bet on it.
I wouldn't hate a Kentucky fade. Not that I'm going to do it myself, but just because of where this game is placed, I think is just the obvious letdown type spot. Because earlier last week, they went to Clemson, a big upset. Then they technically went to Gonzaga, even though it was a neutral court. But crazy comeback, won that game in overtime, put up 90 points doing it. And they have this weird game where they're favored by 30 points against Colgate. Right before this weekend, you get the Louisville-Kentucky rivalry right before finals week. I mean, if I thought Colgate was any sort of good, maybe if this was last year's or the last couple years Colgate, I probably would get involved with Colgate, but I would not be shocked if they keep this game closer.
Maybe it's Colgate. Is this when we dip our toes in the Raiders and fade Mark Pope's red hot Wildcats? Shit, man. Colgate's going to play hard. I just don't know if they have the bodies anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're not going to give up. Okay. Lean Colgate. We'll move. I like the Cajuns as a parlay piece, Chad. I did pair that with the Knicks in the NBA on the money line. It's barely plus chicken, but it is plus chicken. So I don't want to hear shit. Okay. Shout out BYU for getting a ginormous recruit yesterday, right?
Yeah.
You got a top 5 recruit in the country coming there. We got to keep our eyes on that, guys. And like we always talk about, NIL is changing sports, and that goes for college basketball as well now. The Mormons just paid $6 million to get a top recruit to go to their school. Times have changed. That's going to be interesting to see next year. I don't know how that affects their game today, but BYU, already a solid program. I know they lost, their coach to go back to Kentucky, but they're still going to be a solid program. I know they're coming off of 2 losses here. Fresno also comes in off of 4 losses in this game. Fresno made a coaching change last year too, Jovan. Where's your head at with this game? BYU not covering it all this season, 3-5 against the spread. Fresno not playing well recently, but still covering and hanging around in games.
Yeah, as bad as Fresno kind of is, I thought this line was a little fat, especially for how much I've been seeing some of the lines that BYU gets against these shittier conference teams at home, even with, I don't know, Queens, that line was relatively around where this one is now. I remember, I'm trying to pull up the exact number so I can have them to show you, but I saw this and I thought it was large. And again, I know Fresno State's been terrible. And the one thing when I've been looking at Fresno State for, I don't know, comparisons for any team, I've been watching some of their games, they just play fast for no reason. And it doesn't work, which is why they're I don't know, they've been as bad as they are this season. So like on the road at BYU, that's probably going to bite you in the ass. So I would not be surprised if they just get absolutely killed in this game.
Okay.
And we see a lot of points because BYU
total's moving up.
BYU's been steaming since that Providence loss.
Yeah, they might be out to prove something, losing 2 of their last 3 games. Total's up a couple points in this game. And that spread's moving towards BYU.
This is what I'm talking about. So that Queens game, BYU, I know that was like the weird back-to-back situation too, right? So like that was cooked in the front half of that, and Queens was only 31-point dogs. They played Idaho at home, and they were 28.5-point dogs. Like UC Riverside, they were only minus 21.5 against them. Central Arkansas, who's fucking terrible, they're minus 34. Fresno getting 27.5 compared to all of those schools feels incredibly fat.
100% agree. I think Fresno might be a dead program here.
Dead.
They might be toast. Yeah, man, I'm taking a peep at their squad. They're young. They're bad. I like the coach they had last year before they fired him. I don't know why everybody in that program involved fucking hated his guts. They wanted him fired ASAP. I liked him. Yeah, that's a big number for BYU. And like you said, Jovan, they're coming in off of 2 losses. Their last 3 games, they're still steaming a little bit. They might want to get some anger out and absolutely destroy a Fresno team. And with that spread moving up and that total moving up, wouldn't be surprised if it's some Cougars points we're seeing a little bit more than the lines are expecting.
Yeah,
they probably
especially, not only did they really disappoint, got smoked by 20 at Providence, but they only put up 64 points doing it. So their offense got kind of shut down and embarrassed. I would assume they're going to go out and run in this game.
Okay. Shout out Handyman AL coming in, resubbing. Let's fucking go, Handyman. Sure we can. Sure we can. On the slide with the follow, Seaborn with the follow. We appreciate you guys. We are also live on YouTube as well. We appreciate the subbies and the follows on Twitch, but we are live on YouTube as well right now. If you want to hop over there and check it out, drop a sub. It's free. Okay? Get involved. All right. Let's move off of CBB. I think we just went through that entire slate. Let's see if we got any other games to talk about briefly here, Jovan. I guess we can head to the ice for a second. You talked about the over on the ice between the Ducks and Sens. What do you think happens in the Sabres-Rangers game? I kind of lean the Sabres here at home, but I want your thoughts.
Yeah, they're so bad. This is like a Moose Bowl, which honestly that like the soccer match we bet on in Spain a couple days ago is probably a pretty good comp for this because Sabres have lost 1 million in a row and minimum half of them have been crazy late game collapses, and they just had another one in their last game against the Red Wings where there was 1 million goals. They looked great early on offense, and you just knew the defense had been so bad to that point they were going to hang around, and they ended up losing. Classic Sabres, and the Rangers are reeling. They're, I don't know, injured, reshuffling the team. Igor's been Igor. He just like came off a game where he was actually kind of good, but they let the Blackhawks of all teams wail on them for 30-plus shots, and they lost that game 2-1. So, I mean, I really don't even know where my head's at in this game. Like, I guess common logic or how I would usually bet it is both these teams have been fucking terrible. The Sabres, I guess, are at home, I think, right before they go on the road. The Rangers lost to the Blackhawks and scored 1 goal doing it. I would assume they're probably going to open it up and play pretty open and go for goals, but the way both these teams have been playing recently, I can't get myself to do it. I wouldn't be shocked if this is the one, I don't know, good defensive game the Rangers have played in quite some time, because it would just be so hilarious after there was, I think, 4 goals in the first 10 minutes of the Sabres game last time, that the Rangers are the team that's able to slow them down a little bit.
Dude, I want to bet the Sabres, man, but I'm going to stay off this game. Fuck these
teams. I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah, but like you're saying, the Sabres just keep beating themselves, man. I don't want to get involved with that team in a stretch like that. I've seen this movie before. Maybe they just keep losing and sucking. Maybe they just don't have the clutch gene, right?
Yeah.
I'll stay off.
I will say you'll probably have a better chance if you really want to bet the Rangers on this streak. Maybe they break it tonight. Maybe they don't. But I think Saturday. It's probably I don't really bet the Rangers at all, but I'm probably going to on Saturday. They play the Kings, who the Kings have been red hot. And then they do a little New York, New Jersey road trip. They play the Devils, I think, tomorrow, and then they go to the Rangers right after. I'll probably bet them then. Maybe that's the time.
Okay. All right. So maybe we sit this one out. We root for them to lose again, and then we bet them on Saturday. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I do.
Okay. All right. All right, gents. Well, we are approaching the squad ride time here, but I want to open the floor and see if you guys have any questions about any of these games we talked about, didn't talk about. Now is the time. If you guys have any plays you want us to talk about or go over, let us know. Okay? We don't have much more to go over. We don't have much more games to cover. I'll be honest. I wish we did. But obviously, the NBA we've already talked about. I'm really liking the Rockets still. I'm trusting my guns there. I still think that's my favorite play today, man. I think it's a winner.
Okay. Oh,
I think that's a winner.
The Red Sox making moves.
Is it official?
Yeah.
They get Crochet?
They did.
Wow. Good for them. All right. That's beat for you.
I mean, I knew it was happening. They were getting either Crochet or Fried. Once Fried became a Yankee, I knew it was on its way.
What are your thoughts on Fried going to New York?
I mean, like, I like Max Fried, but you're signing a guy for, how long was that deal? 8 years? 8 years. He has a history of not just injuries, but like some weird arm elbow issues. Might be a good signing for like a couple years, but down the line,
It's also got a history of blowing games when they matter.
That too. I like him though, but I don't know. I feel like that contract is going to age very, very poorly. And again, I saw it coming. So like, I'm not mad at it in the immediate. I think they need to just kind of throw blank checks at guys at this point. But man, it might be good for a couple of years. I don't know about how long. I will say the Rangers, I think, made one of the better moves of yesterday.
Jake Berger?
Same with the guards, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, Jake Berger for nothing. The Marlins are a ridiculous organization. Like, I don't get it, because like it would be one thing if they're offloading all these guys for like a specific purpose, like reload the farm, retool young guys, but like they get shit returns in every single trade they make. Like they trade Jake Berger like they're trading, I don't know, random Marlins player you've never heard of. Like I don't know, like what they're getting crumbs back. They're getting bagels.
Weird. I think they're just one of the most poorly run orgs in all of sports. And that's the kind of shit that happens to orgs like that, huh?
I guess.
They're getting fleeced. They're getting fleeced out here. What do you guys think, chat? Would you rather have Crochet or would you rather have Max Fried? Contract aside, which lefty would you rather have on your team? I think I'm going Crochet. I feel like both guys are relatively risky. He might be a little even more risky with his, past and injury issues and him being a reliever at times too. I'd probably go Crochet.
Maybe Crochet.
Chat's saying Fried.
Yeah, well, you said contract included. I'd rather have Crochet. Contract aside, I'd obviously rather have Fried. Like in the immediate,
Okay.
He's like he gives your rotation a incredibly safe floor of innings. Obviously,
It does.
Which that's a big deal. That would have been a much bigger deal for the Red Sox, I think, than the Yankees, because the Red Sox. The thing with the Red Sox that always scares me about Crochet, and I love Crochet, and I think he's going to be great there, but he is still a converted reliever, just like every single other pitcher for the most part they have in that rotation. It's like I was hoping they would make a move for a pitcher that addressed that issue specifically, and they kind of didn't, but it's still a big ad.
Yep. Yeah, Big Rob, I'm with you, man. I'd rather have DJRs. 11 a.m. Patty C. You guys are in a baseball mood today, huh? Have your Nats are raised on anything? Can we shout out the Nats for getting the #1 pick in the upcoming MLB draft? How about a handout for the Nats? How about a handout? Did not expect it. I don't know what they were supposed to get, but it certainly wasn't the one pick.
Yeah,
we'll take it.
Huge.
We'll take it. Maybe we'll go out and get the other holiday. I'm kind of hoping we don't after watching Jackson. but we got a lot of options. We're in a great spot. Quick funny story here. So for all the baseball guys in chats, the winter meetings are going on right now. Mike Rizzo, the Nats GM, Baldy, who I talk about all the time, I think he's great. He gets so much hate for no reason, all GMs do. But he ran into Matt Adams, former Nats legend, former Cardinals legend, obviously. I think Big City is his nickname. That guy hit nukes. He's awesome. If you're a baseball guy, you know Matt Adams. He ran into him at the winter meetings. I guess Matt Adams is looking for a coaching job. He's trying to get his foot in the door, whether it's a bench coach or something. He wants to stay involved with the sport. So they ran into each other. Mike Rizzo was like, hey, how you doing? Haven't talked to you in a while. But also, any chance you want to go sit at the podium for the Nats during the drafts order selection process, right? It's not the draft, but it's when they pick who the fuck is going when, right, from the stupid lottery balls. So Matt Adams was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll stick around. I'll go. Next thing you know, Matt Adams is getting the number 1 ball and he's getting the number 1 pick. And Mike Rizzo's coming out giving him a big bear hug. Shout out Big City. Matt Adams. Never thought I'd bring up that guy's name ever again for coming through in the clutch. Last second for the Nats. 30 minutes before the event, by the way. I probably should have put that one in before. But it was like so last second and nonchalant. And the baseball gods, they rewarded good guys. Mike Rizzo and Matt Adams. Good to see. Good to see.
What go.
Any Rays updates? That's pretty much all I have is just stories because the Nats haven't actually done shit. So if you have any actual Rays updates, feel free to go ahead and give them.
I mean, this is all like the spending period. So yeah, the Rays are not doing shit. And they had at Neander, our GM went on like the MLB Tonight show, like right after Soto. He's like, just missed out on Soto, man. They're really disappointed about it. And I was like, dude, it's not even funny at this point. Go buy somebody. Go do something, man. We got Taylor Walls coming up, hitting 150 in important spots. Can we get a hitter for fuck's sake, man?
Yeah, you got Horvitz though for $8 million.
Who?
Right? Didn't you get the catcher Horwitz from Toronto?
Danny Jansen. Danny
Jansen. Okay,
yeah.
I'm blanking. That's who it was. Who was fucking Rav talking about in chat?
Horwitz, one of the Pirates.
Yes. Okay, that's what he's splooging about. Yeah, I knew you guys got a catcher, Danny Jansen.
Yeah, which I mean, I would be an upgrade over our whole catching situation for the past like 10 years. So glad they did that, but as long as I'm watching Taylor Walls take at bats for my team, I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah, and that's a very fair statement. Wake the fuck up, Rays. Do something. Yeah. Anything. Please. Same with the Nats.
Probably in their defense, though. I mean, it's already hard to get people to go to Tampa and take a discount. It's probably 20 times as hard when they're playing at Steinbrenner Field for God knows how long.
I mean, that's just hilarious. Come on.
Yeah.
They got to change that name, right, before they actually play some games there?
No, dude. It's their stadium. I mean, I think the hope is that they're only there for a year and then moving on from that. But
it's a joke.
Yeah. It's cool, though, at least, because that's now, like, the whole reason the St. Pete people, or like the county, is pissed is because they know that once the Rays play there, they're going to realize how big of a draw it is compared to St. Pete, and then they're going to commit to making plans in Tampa moving forward. But it'll be sick to have them there for a year, however long, especially being that well, you were kind of around the practice facility, so it's like on the other side. It's on the other side of the Bucs Stadium, so it's right there.
Okay. All right. You're saying it could be worse, and you're happy that it's actually in Tampa, kind of. All right.
Yeah. And they did make some commitments to rebranding the field at the very least, putting up they released like their whole plan the other day. So like they're putting up all the signs, covering up a bunch of the Yanks ones. So it'll at least be kind of cool.
Okay. Could be worse. All right.
Yeah.
Look, when you're a fan of a team like the Rays and even me with the Nats, you can't expect Yankee outcomes, right? You got to be realistic and you got to roll with the punches a little bit at times. And when your stadium gets destroyed by a fucking hurricane, it might take a year and you might be in a weird satellite location that's owned by the Yankees. Kind of how it goes when you're not the fucking Yankees or Dodgers, but got to keep your head up and look at the positives. I like that mindset, Jovan. At least they're in Tampa, right? It could be worse.
Yeah, that's what we've been asking for so long.
You're right. They're finally giving it to you at Yankee Stadium. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's cut the shit. The chat wants a squad ride. Let's give it to them. Jovan, you want to run that puppy? I want to see that damn train. Let's craft. All right, chat. Let's lock the fuck in. Let's find a winner for tonight. I know the slate is horrendous, but that does not mean we cannot all come together and find a winner on the slate for today. And Jovan, I'll be honest, I can't stop thinking about the Rockets. 15 straight games they've lost. Now they're a favorite against the greatest team of all time, greatest player of all time, Steph Curry. Kind of feel like that has to go in here, man.
All right. I'll tip cap to that. You can put it in.
Okay. What about from your plays? What are you absolutely obsessed with? What plays did you put in there that you want in the squad ride, Paul?
I would say the Notre Dame over. Probably my favorite play.
Cool. Get some eyes on that. Notre Dame. Looks like that total is at 141.5. Okay.
Wow. Goosage.
Okay. Good. Keep moving. Fuck CLV. Dartmouth. Notre Dame. Over 141.5. Good. What else did you guys like in chat from us today? What plays? Let me know. Won't let me add. I ran out of characters, so I'll just leave it at 141. Yeah, I'll take it out. Chat, what plays, what sell jobs, what bets did you guys like from us today that we talked about that were not necessarily on the Sharp Report? Was there anything in there that you want to put in? Rocket Steph, not a trap, right? Dude. I fucking hope not. Green Bay is looking at me funny as well. Chat likes that one too. But Jovan, I'm all ears, bro. Is there anything else you want to put in this pop?
I mean, I'm down for Green Bay. Green Bay, Cal Baptist, whichever ones out of those you liked.
I like them both. I just got a weird feeling we're seeing Gottlieb get a fucking big time win today for the first time.
I'm with you.
Home.
I'm with you.
Okay. Let's go Green Bay. Plus 5.5. What else did you have on your Sharp Report? Remind me. You had
Cal Baptist.
Yep.
What's the
point?
point?
Over on the ice.
Yeah, can't go back to that in the squad ride. Okay. Bad juju, but glad to go Cal Baptist if you want.
I was gonna say, you want to put them in here? Let's put them in there. Plus 14.5. Spreads moving and grooving.
Grooving, dude.
Good. All right, chat. 4 plays, 4 winners for the squad ride poll today. We'll leave this up for 3 minutes, and I will get some eyes on it as well. Here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. There it is. Chat, 4 plays, 4 winners. Get involved. All right, don't just sit there. And if you're watching on YouTube, now is the time to make your way over to the Twitch chat. You have plenty of time, 3 minutes. And I'm sure when you open up Twitch, it'll probably be the first thing that pops up. Get involved. Don't just sit there in the YouTube chat. Make your way over to the Twitch chat and lock in your squad ride vote. Okay, every vote counts. 4 plays, 4 winners. Rockets ML. Dartmouth, Notre Dame over 141.5. We've got Green Bay plus 5.5 and Cal Baptist plus 14.5. Okay. Get those votes in, chat. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Get involved.
Good.
Change your life. We got D-Mart coming in, resubbing. Let's go, D-Mart. Sure. Prime saying he's putting a unit on this 4-leg parlay. Maybe a half unit. I like where your head's at, though, Prime. Maybe a half you for a parlay like that.
Half you for today's shit slate.
I like where your head's at, though. All right. Don't take the Rockets just because it's NBA chats. Correct. Please take the best play you heard today. Please click on the winner. The play that you heard us talk about today where you're thinking, yeah, that's got to be the squad ride. That shit's turning green. That's the button you got to click. Not a button that's just in a league you want to watch. Not a button that's on a fucking TV provider that you have. Click the button of the winner, please. Okay? Just click the fucking best sell job. The best pick you heard from us today as we get a subby coming in from the Big Bat for 8 months. W Big Bat. Love to see it.
Goat.
Get those votes in chats. You got about a minute and a half. All right. Dartmouth Notre Dame overs hanging around as it should. As it should.
Around.
Yeah, we'll see if people want CBB. CBB is getting a little push here in the second half of this poll. That's for sure. Chat, 4 plays, 4 winners. All right, we got an NBA play. We got 3 CBB plays for you. Get involved. Do not just sit there. If you're watching this on your iPad off to the side during work, now is the time to put the pencils down, the notebooks off to the sides, and click the fucking button in the squad ride poll. Okay, don't just sit there. We should have hundreds of votes in this puppy. Okay? Wow, it's neck and neck for the Rockets and Dartmouth Notre Dame over. Neck and neck.
Hilarious. Sent here up.
I mean, yeah, that's ridiculous. Who's going to be, chat? Looks like and Cal Baptist are going to be side sploogers. Okay, those aren't going to win. That's okay. That's kind of expected. But is it going to be the Rockets on the ML, or is it going to be that over in college basketball, Dartmouth and Notre Dame? And right now, we're seeing some mage from that over in CBB. We'll see if it can hold. We'll see if the Rockets have one more push in them. But I think either way, we're in a really good spot with both those plays, honestly, with all four of these pups. Okay? 4 plays, 4 winners. Please get involved. Who's it going to be?
Who will it be? Final stretch.
It's that over.
There it is.
Okay. You know
Go
what,
to
Javon? I'm happy
South
about that. I'm happy about that. I feel like that's the least sketchy, most confident play today, and we can keep that Rockets ML to the sides. We can bet that as well as a side squad ride, but sure, that has some fake sharp and trappy vibes to it. So if you guys would rather go with that great angle on CBB, the over in Dartmouth and Notre Dame, we'll meet you there. Okay, that should be a great game. Very entertaining, knock on woods. Let's get some points in South Bend tonight. All right, Javon?
Yeah.
Sure. Why not us? All right, guys. We appreciate you. We'll catch you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Actually, a little bit earlier tomorrow. We'll start on time. All right, we have a much better slate. All right, so we'll catch you tomorrow. Don't miss out. W Squad rides, the over in CBB, Dartmouth, Notre Dame. We'll meet you at the cash counter. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
We will.